Scarlet and Grey Cafe for Ebony Jeanette PR with members of Riven. Can you please introduce yourselves and tell me a little about yourselves and your role in the band?
I'm Angel, I'm lead vocalist.
I'm Joe, I'm rhythm guitar. Mark, I play lead guitar.
Explain your name and how you came up with it, please.
Our name is Riven, and
it means to rend asunder by force. It was very appropriate to our old band breaking up at the time. And yeah, we needed a name, and because we were booked for shows and we didn't even have a name yet, so it just kind of fell in place.
When you wrote Unsound, Hindsight 2020, and All I Am, what subjects inspired you?
I'd like to see what Mark says about what was inspiring him musically, and then I can go into their lyrical content.
Yeah, so basically, Unsound I wrote a demo for when I was probably 16. It was before Motivator, I was still in high school, and
rap songs, go ahead and go back
that
and
was,
forth.
just a heavy song. I was a metal kid, so I was just writing a heavy song. Hindsight, same thing I wrote while I was in Motivator, but it wasn't really Motivator style, so I just kind of wrote it just to get it out of my head and kind of put it off in these little files I had. And All I Am, actually our producer, Riven, he was basically like, you guys probably need another heavy song, just saying. And so about one day of hashing that one out, and we had All I Am, just as a whole band, musically. And the lyrics, he kind of did his thing.
I think Hindsight 2020 is the first one that actually came all the way around with lyrics, and I was just going over and over and over and over the instrumental they sent me, and I came to hang out with the guys up in Sac, because I live in Jackson, a little bit away from Sac, and I came to hang out with them, and I had them put on the video, and I was like, check this out, and I just sang over it as loud as I could, and by the end of it, they were just like, damn.
He just spit this, and we never heard any of it before. He's like, oh, check this out. It was about three of us, me and a couple buddies, and Nate, and we were just like, so that's what our band's gonna sound like, I guess. Right on, cool.
And then so that was Hindsight, and then obviously a little bit of producing went into that when we went into the studio. But then Unsound, Hindsight's kind of about tearing down the walls and coming out from behind your little shell of addiction or self-consciousness, just coming out and living your life and stop hiding behind your fears and your addictions and maybe your thoughts that other people think of you, So I just kind of wanted that song to basically be like, look, there's people there that care, and there's people around you that care, and just a real positive message, like, live your life, man. Stop hiding, because hindsight's 2020. You look at it later on, you regret. You're gonna see clearly later on, and so we're trying to have that song be your hindsight. Unsound is really about the world in its current state and how we feel that it's dying, and we're the reason it's dying, and that we're just a parasite on this world, and the only way for the earth to really survive is for the dog to shake the flea. All I Am is a straight punch to the face of a old friend / new enemy, and just a word that I wanted to say to basically saying you can do whatever you want to do, but you can't take away who I am. You can't take away what we're doing and who we're gonna be, and it just says it says it right there in the lyrics. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, straightforward, cut and dry.
What are your previous bands and projects, and how did they bring you together?
I came from a band in Denver, Colorado called Riven, which was a very theatrical band influenced by bands such as Motivator, Mushroomhead, Mudvayne, and so on, Slipknot. And we were to the point where we were getting too big for Denver, so we wanted to tour out, and some of the guys just didn't have that dedication to them. So I said, I'm going to start looking for another band, and started talking to people, and I got introduced to Nuke from Motivator, and started a project with him and JR, which soon turned into Motivator itself. And then other members that decided not to come back were quickly replaced by young, talented, hungry musicians, and that's how I found Mark and Jeremy and Tyler, you know, musicians that really are in this because they want to do it for a living and they're not scared and willing to risk it all. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into this industry, and if you can't sacrifice and you can't show persistence, you're not going to make it, you know, dedication. So that was my prior project, other than
I just played with friends, you know, play guitar and, you know, friends like across the street, friends come over to my house and they just jam and stuff, and nothing really went too far from that. And then I just kind of jumped into this, and it's awesome. You know, another part of it.
Yeah. I was in a band in high school called Lethal Injection with my buddy Nathan, who is the second singer in this band too.
sleeping on the couch right there. You can't see.
But
Snoozing.
that was, you know, some good times. My first kind of like introduction to like, oh yeah, this is fun, playing local shows. And then I'd known Angel over MySpace through
MySpace.
You know, just I put up demos of this other project, and he was like, oh, you know, it's pretty cool. And then we started talking, and before I knew it, I ended up in Motivator, which was one of my favorite bands. I had this tattoo like a week before they asked me to join. I was at work, and they called me up, hey, music guitar center. I'm like, all right, later. And that lasted for, you know, about 3 years or so. 4 years for these guys, 3 years for me. And yeah, so yeah, we're all here together now.
Okay, cool. How is the Sacramento music scene? Well, how does it differ from other towns such as Columbus or like your hometown Denver?
Oh, Sacramento, I don't know. Everyone's so distant from each other. You know what I mean? Like, where I can go to a scene like Denver, and everyone every band knows each other or is helping each other out. And whereas Sacramento, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, there could be 6 bands in a venue, and everyone's just in their little group like this. It's weird, really weird. Especially when we'd be the oddball, like trying to make friends. Hey, what's up, dude? What's up? You know, and it's weird, but
yeah, my impression of coming from Denver, which was a very tight knit scene, like he was saying, brothers in arms, you know, kind of thing, and going to Sacramento, man, and it's really weird to me. And I don't care if you guys see this or wake up, man. Music is music. It's not a competition, and it's real clicky up there, and it's real carbon copy. It's like every band sounds the same. Get original. Hate me if you want, dude. I don't care.
yeah.
All I'm saying is get some balls, get out there, get original. There's a couple of really, really talented bands out there.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, just gonna name drop real quick. In my opinion, I like White Minorities. They're really heavy, different. They're not so, you know, this one style that happens to consume that scene. And then there's a band called Heroes Last Mission.
Yeah.
That is just so good. Their harmonies are spectacular. It's insane. So
and there's a band called Shadow the Colossus. It's just heavy as fuck. I don't know if I can say that, but goddamn. Yeah, they are so good.
I mean, so it's like you can pick out in other scenes. You're like, oh, there's this band, this band, this band, this band, this band. Sacramento, it's like there's this band, this band, this band, and all these guys that if they were all on a set, it would sound like in 3 hours of the same band. True.
So there is a big difference.
Yeah. What are you gonna do for Northern California?
As veterans in the music industry, what advice would you give to new local bands?
I'm still looking for advice. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah.
I'm giving advice.
Yeah.
I know everything about everything. No, in my experience, going from a local band to a national, absolutely, like I said before, it takes the sacrifice. You gotta be strong. It's not just, oh, let's go out there and do it. You gotta be strong emotionally. You gotta be strong character-wise. You gotta be strong with being able to swallow your pride and know that you're wrong. I mean, I get put in my place on a daily because sometimes I ego out, sometimes I douche out, whatever. But you know what? I can't rely on anybody if I can't rely on my band and my family for their support, you know.
Well, yeah, that's what you learn quick is it turns into a family. You know what I mean? Like, it'll start as a band, but when once you're living with people in a sardine can for 3 months at a time, that's pretty much all you got. You leave your friends, you come back home, your friends are gone, you know, your girlfriends or whatever can't handle it. So I mean,
But your real family,
yeah,
and this family.
yeah.
Gotta
Family, real
have
family
support
will always be
system.
there, but friends and stuff like that, they come and go, and the band, and that's what you got, you know.
If you're gonna start the trek, dig down in that
Yeah.
dirt and get ready for the haul, because it's not easy. You can be doing this for 2, 3, 4 years. You can get lucky and pop off that first year, but be smart about it. Don't go signing everything that's thrown your way, and really think about your career as that, a career, not just your 15 minutes, because you'll have your 15 minutes.
Yeah.
This will be news for all of us.
Yeah.
The Rockapalooza DVD is now just going to be Riven's first DVD, period. It's going to feature a lot of live footage of the whole set of Rockapalooza. It's just not going to have as many features of Rockapalooza itself that we would have hoped, because somehow our cameras that we rented, $650 worth of cameras, got lost in the mail. And so hopefully they're going to find their way back to the owner. And we're not going to be $8,000 in debt. And yeah, so we got good footage.
Yeah, we made do. We got the set film with a couple different angles. You know, we had a backup plan, and we got some shenanigans film. But we're just gonna throw in a bunch of stuff we have just from tours, like
Recording,
like, you know, studio footage,
behind the scenes, the
behind
music
the-
video,
Yeah, so
stuff from Motograder,
Yeah.
minus the 2 members that aren't involved in this band, so that there's no copyright infringement or whatever. But there was some really funny shit that happened in that band that you guys deserve to see, and so you can have it all.
Yeah, there'll be tons of like interview of us kind of telling the whole story in its entirety of how we got here, so no, you know, confusion anymore. So it'll be cool.
Joe wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of getting to know everybody. You know, like a lot of personal, like iPhone film, you know, stuff. It's like a lot of antics and just craziness,
Heat of the moment stuff, you know. Like,
capturing nutty stuff.
yeah.
Okay, and then just how do we keep up with your tour, buy merchandise, listen to your music, etc.? How do we follow you?
Facebook.com/Riven Band, RIVENBAND. Our store NB link is on right underneath the timeline heading. You can click on store NB, it takes you right to our merchandise store. Our tour dates, bands in town. If you have an iPhone or a Droid, get that Bands in Town app and start following Riven right away, because it will pop up every time we update. We'll update you before we can even call you or Facebook you. It'll update you right away. We got what else? Keep it up with us.
Reverb?
Oh, we do. Please, if you're liking the Facebook, go to the group Riven Fans and join that group and add all your friends and let them hate you for a day while they're trying to figure out how to exit. Because they're like, hey, you exit this group, why am I in this group?
Yeah,
So
yeah. The fan space has a lot more kind of personal stuff, like this us goofing
tour
off,
vlogs,
you know,
me being
that kind of
drunk.
stuff. Yeah, so it's fun, you know. We just try to keep people involved, you know, like if we're just to ourselves, and it's like, how fun is that, you know?
Tour vlog, this is what feet look like at a party.
Hey, Ebony.
Well, thank you guys. Nice meeting you.
Nice
Bye,
to meet you.
guys.
Are we okay to start now?